You wake up one morning and realize it's not just fatigue anymore. It's the quiet disappearance of your manhood. The firmness you once took for granted gone. The desire fading. And no one talks about it. But here's the truth. What's stealing your strength in the bedroom isn't just age, it's something deeper. And the solution doesn't come in a blue pill. It comes in the form of one natural spoon taken every morning. I'm Dr. John Kennedy, a men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience helping men over 60 reclaim their vitality. I've worked with veterans' grandfathers, retired CEOs, men who thought it was all over until they discovered how the body, even after 70, can restore its natural power when nourished properly. Most men think they need hormones or medication to feel like themselves again. But what if the real problem was simply that your blood vessels are inflamed, your testosterone is asleep, and your stress hormones are hijacking your manhood? And what if three ancient ingredients combined into one daily habit could begin reversing all of that? That's exactly what this is about. One spoon each morning. A simple blend that has helped men across the country regain firm, lasting erections naturally, confidently, and without side effects. In just a moment, I'll reveal the exact ingredients inside this blend, how they work, and what you can expect to feel over the next few weeks. Stay with me, because what's coming next could change everything. Before we dive into the ingredients, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a simple natural health tip designed for men over 60. And if this message resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and let me know on how I can serve you better. Now, let's talk about the heart of this solution. What exactly is in that one spoon each morning and why it works? We'll start with the foundation. The reason this entire formula exists in the first place. Because if you want to restore firm natural erections without drugs or side effects, you have to begin where male vitality truly starts, your hormones, and that's where maca root comes in. 1. The natural solution. Just one spoon. Each morning, I want to start with something personal. Years ago, a man came into my office. He was 67. He sat down, looked me in the eye, and said, "Doctor, I feel like I'm fading." His energy was low. His confidence in the bedroom was gone. He wasn't looking for a miracle, just for a way to feel like himself again. He wasn't sick. He wasn't broken. But he was disconnected from his own body. And quietly, he feared it might be too late. And I told him what I've told thousands of men since. It's not too late. Not even close. Your body still knows what to do. You just have to give it the right support. In the right way. Every single day. That's how this daily spoon was born. Not from theory, but from real lives, real frustrations, and real comebacks. One spoon, that's it. Every morning before your first meal. It may sound simple, and that's the beauty of it. This blend isn't a magic powder. It's a combination of three deeply researched, time-tested natural ingredients, maca, root ginger, and ashwagandha, that work together to reactivate the systems responsible for blood flow, hormone production, and emotional stability. These are the very systems that control your ability to get and maintain an erection. When they weaken with age, things stop working the way they used to. But when you feed them properly, you start to feel something stir again. Energy, desire, strength, not forced, not artificial, but natural, steady, and alive. What surprises most men is how quickly their body begins to respond once this blend becomes part of their morning rhythm. We're not talking about short bursts of stimulation. We're talking about rebuilding from within. Men have told me they started waking up with morning erections again. They stopped dreading intimacy. They felt something shift. Quietly at first, but undeniably real. And here's what I find most inspiring. It's not just the physical change, It's what happens to a man's confidence when he realizes his body is still capable, that his best days aren't all behind him, that he can feel like a man again, not because of a pill, but because of something he did for himself. So now that you know what this daily spoon can do, let's take a closer look at the first key ingredient, the one that reawakens your hormones and desire from the inside out. 2. Maca root awakens your testosterone and desire. I'll never forget the first time I recommended maca root to one of my older patients. He was 72, recently widowed, and had started dating again after years of being alone. But he came to me looking defeated. "Doc," he said, "I care about her. I want to be with her. But my body just won't cooperate. I feel embarrassed like I'm not the man I used to be." I heard the pain in his voice. It wasn't just physical, it was emotional. He didn't need performance drugs or a quick fix. What he needed was to feel like himself again. And that's exactly why maca root is so important. Grown high in the Peruvian Andes, maca root has been used for centuries as a symbol of vitality and masculine strength. But beyond tradition, what makes it special is its ability to naturally support the body's own testosterone production. No hormones, no artificial stimulation, just the quiet, steady awakening of your natural male drive. As we age, our testosterone levels tend to decline. Not overnight, but little by little. And with that comes fatigue, low mood loss of desire, and yes, weaker erections. Maca steps in, not by forcing your body, but by gently nudging it back into balance. The men I've guided through this process often report something unexpected. They don't just feel more sexually responsive, they feel emotionally reconnected. Their confidence returns. That spark of masculinity that had gone quiet suddenly begins to stir again. Their partners notice it too, not just in the bedroom, but in how they carry themselves, how they speak, how they engage with the world. When you take maca as part of your morning routine, you're giving your body the signal to start producing again, to remember how it used to feel when everything worked as it should. It's not about turning back the clock, but about getting back in touch with the part of you that was never really gone, just dormant, waiting for the right fuel. But testosterone is only one part of the story. For an erection to truly come to life, your blood has to flow freely, powerfully, and without resistance. And there's one natural ingredient that's been quietly fighting for men's circulation for centuries. Let me show you how it works. Ginger powder rebuilds blood flow to the penis. Years ago, I met a man named Robert. He was 68, a retired firefighter, tough as nails on the outside. But he came into my office carrying a weight he couldn't shake. "Doc," he said, "I feel like my body betrayed me. I want to be with my wife like I used to, but down there nothing happens." His voice trailed off, not out of shame, but frustration. The kind that builds when you know the desire is there, but your body just doesn't respond. And the truth is, for many men like Robert, the issue isn't in the mind or the hormones. It's in the blood. An erection is quite literally a matter of circulation. If blood can't reach the penis fully and stay there, nothing else matters. And over time, the blood vessels that once worked without effort can become stiff, inflamed, and narrowed. That's where ginger comes in. More than just a kitchen spice, ginger is a powerful natural anti-inflammatory that works deep inside your vascular system. It helps reduce the silent inflammation that builds up over the years, clearing the path for stronger, smoother blood flow. And when blood flows better, erections follow. I've seen it firsthand. Men who couldn't stay hard now find themselves waking up with morning wood again. Not because they took something artificial, but because their blood started moving the way it used to. Ginger doesn't act like a drug. It doesn't force your body to respond. It simply opens the door again, allowing nature to do what it was always designed to do. Robert came back to see me 3 weeks later with a smile I hadn't seen the first time. He wasn't cured, but something had shifted. His words were simple. It's coming back. And that's what I want for you. To feel like it's coming back. Your strength, your confidence, your sense of power as a man. But blood flow and testosterone are only two parts of the equation. There's one more hidden force that often gets overlooked, and it's quietly stealing your ability to perform. I'm talking about stress. Not just the obvious kind, but the chronic silent tension that builds up over time and crushes your desire without warning. And there's one ancient root that holds the key to resetting it all. Let me tell you about it. 4. Ashwagandha. Reduces stress, regulates hormones, and boosts performance. There's something we don't talk about enough as men. Stress, not the kind you yell about, not the kind that explodes. I'm talking about the quiet kind. The kind that creeps in over the years, settles deep in your chest, and slowly drains the life out of you. I've seen it more times than I can count. Strong men who held families together, who worked hard their whole lives, now find themselves lying awake at night, wondering why they feel so disconnected from the world and from themselves. One man I remember clearly. His name was Howard. He was 74, sharp as a tack, but you could see it in his eyes. He hadn't truly rested in years. He wasn't sleeping well, felt constantly tense, and intimacy had become a memory. He didn't feel desire anymore, and worse, he didn't feel like himself. His testosterone was low, his erections were gone, and the deeper truth was this. His nervous system had been running in overdrive for decades. His body had forgotten how to relax. That's when I introduced him to ashwagandha. This isn't some trendy supplement. It's an adaptogenic root that's been used for thousands of years to calm the body, balance the mind, and restore hormonal harmony. What makes ashwagandha so powerful is that it works quietly beneath the surface. It doesn't hype you up. It brings you back down to a steady, healthy rhythm. It lowers cortisol, the hormone your body releases under stress. The same hormone that, when left unchecked, suppresses testosterone, ruins sleep, and robs you of your sexual drive. After 2 weeks of taking ashwagandha each morning as part of this blend, Howard came back with more than just better sleep. His voice had changed. His face had softened. He told me, "Doc, I didn't realize how tense I'd been. I feel lighter. I feel like I can breathe again." And slowly his desire started returning. His erections became more dependable, not from force, but from balance, from finally letting his body rest and recover. That's the beauty of ashwagandha. It doesn't fight your body. It reminds it how to function again. When stress is no longer running the show, your natural masculinity rises to the surface fully and confidently. Now, with these 3 ingredients working together, rebuilding testosterone, restoring blood flow, and calming the nervous system, you're probably wondering how to actually put them all together into one powerful daily habit. That's exactly what we're going to cover next. 5. How to prepare the blend. Now that you know what these 3 ingredients can do for your body, how they restore your testosterone, improve blood flow, and calm the stress that's been holding you back, let's talk about how to actually bring them together in a simple, powerful daily ritual. Because that's what this is. It's not a treatment plan or a complicated routine. It's a daily moment of care, a quiet act of restoration, something just for you. And that's important, because most men over 60 aren't looking for one more thing to add to their to-do list. You've spent your life working, solving problems for everyone else. This is different. This is about finally giving something back to your own body in a way that's easy, sustainable, and deeply effective. Here's how to do it. Start with a clean bowl and combine 1 tablespoon of maca powder, 1 tablespoon of ginger powder, and 1 tablespoon of ashwagandha powder. That's it. 3 simple, powerful ingredients. Mix them well until the blend is even, then store the mixture in an airtight glass jar in your refrigerator. This will keep the ingredients fresh and potent. Each morning before your first full meal, take 1 heaping tablespoon of the blend. You can stir it into warm water, or better yet, mix it with lemon water to enhance absorption. Some men like to blend it into unsweetened almond milk or stir it into plain yogurt. It doesn't have to taste amazing. It just has to become part of your rhythm. One small act each day that tells your body, I'm coming back. And consistency is everything. It's not what you do once that changes your life. It's what you do every morning quietly and with intention that begins to shift your biology from the inside out. Give it time. Be patient. Your body knows what to do, and it's listening. Now, maybe you're wondering what happens next. How will you know it's working? What kind of changes can you expect in your first few weeks? That's exactly what I want to show you. Because the timeline of transformation is often more powerful than men ever imagine. Let's take a closer look. One of the most common questions I get from men when they first hear about this blend is how long until I feel something, and I always answer the same way. Healing isn't a lightning bolt. It's a sunrise. You don't always notice the moment it begins, but little by little, everything starts to brighten. Your body doesn't just flip a switch. It remembers how to come back to life. In that first week, most men don't feel a sexual surge. They feel something quieter. Sleep starts to feel a little deeper. Mornings don't feel so heavy. That mental cloud that's been sitting in your chest or behind your eyes begins to lift just a bit. There's a steadiness, a softness, like your nervous system is finally catching its breath. That's your body signaling that something is shifting. By the second week, you might start to notice changes in movement and mood. Your joints may feel a little looser. Getting out of a chair doesn't feel like such an effort. You may walk up a flight of stairs without stopping halfway to catch your breath. But more importantly, something else may return. Desire. Not loud, not forced, but natural. You may look at your partner and feel that quiet pull again, that spark that hasn't shown up in a while. And when that moment comes, your body might surprise you. You may feel firmer, more in control. That's not a miracle. It's circulation, testosterone, and balance finally doing their job. By week 3 or 4, it often becomes more obvious. You might wake up with morning erections again. You feel more grounded, more confident, more like yourself. And it's not because you forced your body to perform. It's because you gave it the right conditions to heal. That's what makes this different from a pill. It's not a quick fix. It's a true restoration. But here's the part that matters most. This isn't the end of the journey. It's just the beginning. Because once your body starts responding, once you feel that power returning, the real question becomes, how do you keep it going? How do you protect that progress and carry it into the years ahead? That's what we'll talk about next. And I promise, it's simpler and more rewarding than you might think. Conclusion. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you, not just for listening, but for caring enough about your own health to stay present. That says something about you. It tells me that deep down, you haven't given up. And that's exactly the kind of man who sees real change. Because the truth is, reclaiming your strength as a man after 60 isn't about chasing youth. It's about honoring the life you've lived and choosing day by day to give your body what it needs to keep showing up for you. We talked about 3 ingredients: maca, which gently reawakens your natural testosterone and desire; ginger, which helps restore blood flow by clearing out the inflammation that's been slowing you down; and ashwagandha, which calms the storm inside, lowering stress, helping you sleep, and giving your nervous system the peace it's been craving for years. 3 simple ingredients, 1 daily habit, and 1,000 small ways your body begins to come back to life. Maybe it starts with a better night's sleep. Maybe it's the moment you realize you can walk longer without feeling winded. Or maybe it's when you notice you're standing taller, speaking more clearly, looking at your partner with something in your eyes you haven't felt in a long time. It doesn't matter when it happens. What matters is that it happens and that you made it happen. This isn't a prescription. It's not about fixing what's broken. It's about remembering that nothing was broken to begin with. Your body has been doing its best with what it was given. Now, you're finally giving it the tools it's been waiting for. Tools that are natural, gentle, and made to support the systems that matter most. So start with 1 spoon every morning. Stay consistent. Let the process unfold. The changes might be quiet at first, but trust me, they'll come because I've seen it. In men older than you, in men who thought they were out of time, you are not out of time. You are right on time. And this next chapter, it's yours to write. With strength, with confidence, and with a body that finally feels like it's yours again.